Welcome back, Shalligators. Today there is drama brewing in the Bravolebrity world because Vanderpump Rules stars Tom Sandoval, Raquel Leviss, and Ariana Madix. Who the hell are these people? Why the hell should any of us care? I'm not kidding you. I don't know these people from Adam. I don't watch Vanderpump Rules because it's a show about waiters. And I eat out a lot. And not one time have I been like, excuse me? Yeah, no, I actually don't need that side of Thousand Island. Can you just tell me, is that guy sleeping with that girl? I don't fucking care. I don't care. I have zero curiosity about the private lives of my wait staff. I feel the same about that show Below Deck, which should be called Boat Groceries, because that's literally all that's going on, is they're always unloading groceries and ordering groceries. Not to be a douche, I'm a huge douche. I've been on a lot of yachts. The cheapest yacht I've been on is a $20 million yacht. And I was on it literally this time last year. And then we were on a $275 million yacht. They can be that expensive. Is that not insane? It's the fourth biggest yacht in the world. I was on a yacht with the Waltons. And again, not super curious about the staff. And it's not the most interesting part of the ship. I want to hear about the fancy people. I want to hear about the people who can afford to build the fucking structure like this and outfit it entirely with Hermes. I don't want to watch people unload bottled San Pellegrino. I don't understand any of this. But we're not talking about boat groceries. We're talking about waiter drama, because I'm not kidding you. This is 90% of my Instagram feed right now. It is 100% of the New York Post's website. You'd think someone tried to kill the Pope, the president, Beyonce, and Justin Bieber all in the same day. Plus aliens invaded and women now had 3 tits. It's mayhem out there right now. Also, I fucking can't with my bangs today. I ask so little of them. Look, and there's always one that's like, fuck you, no. I don't know what to do. They're supposed to come forward. Is that better? I hate everything. Okay, I'm so sorry. But this is my own personal Tom Sandoval, whatever. Who the fuck are these people? Okay, let's go through this. Let me look at these people. All right, so it all centers around this guy, Tom Sandoval, who, I'm sorry, he looks like his name is Lyle. I'm going to give these people different names because I refuse to put this information, store it in my brain. And honestly, I think that we could do a better job at rebranding these people. So this guy is on this show about waiters, right? And he looks like a lounge singer from the 70s named Lyle. So we're going to call him Lyle. Also, his hair, it looks like something my boyfriend shot in the woods a few weeks ago. And he's wearing necklaces. How old is this person? He looks like he's 55 and Botoxed in a weird way. Okay, so I guess he's been cheating on his girlfriend. Is her name Angela? It looks like it should be Angela. I know an Angela when I see one. Angie, Ariana. I mean, to me, that's but it's very, Ariana is the fancy version of Angela. When the girl's I'm trying to be fancy. I drive a Lexus, okay? I eat shrimps and I eat lobsters. I'm a classy bitch. Ariana. But she looks like an Angela to me. He was cheating on her, and I guess they've been together forever. And they were considered a really strong couple. And he cheated on her. Oh, Angela looks better. She looks cuter in this. She looks kind of Swiss and cute. All right. He cheated on her with this thing. Raquel, somebody was posting online. They're like, oh, my husband went to high school with her. Her name is fucking Rachel. It's not Raquel. Raquel. You're from Long Island. She looks like she's from Long Island. Actually, she looks Russian. So we're going to call her the Red Menace. Okay? So we've got Lyle, Angela, and the Red Menace. And apparently, Angela is friends with the Red Menace. She's friends with the Russian. They're besties because the Russian dated this other guy with the weird chin. I need you people, if you are very into Vanderpump Rules, I need you to unzip yourself from the suit of familiarity. And I need you to, as best as you can, look at these people objectively. They are so unattractive. They're all just weird looking. They are at best incredibly average. But this dude, Tom something, no, I guess the one with the chin, who is that guy? I don't even know. I don't fucking care. I don't want any of this information. The only thing I can liken it to is if like we found out, because I care about the Kardashians. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not saying I'm better. I am just a different breed of the same shitty animal. I guess it would be like finding out Travis Barker, who's married to Kourtney Kardashian, was like boning Kylie. Well, it's kind of, no, it's like finding out Jordan Woods slept with Tristan Thompson, who is dating Khloe. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. And people are fucking losing it. And I guess Lyle has a band and he plays with it. God, that answers a question nobody asked. And then there's like some restaurant that like Schwartz and something or other. That is a deeply terrible name. Schwartz. I understand. I'm not saying it's like a bad name. It's a bad name for a restaurant. Lester's is a bad name for a restaurant. You know? Yeah. Okay. So then Angie asked Lyle to move out. And I guess him and the Russian are like really in love and they wear these like matching lightning bolt necklaces. So this shit has been going on for a while because yeah, Angela has been like there for her Russian friend when she broke up with some other person on this show. I can't even find pictures of these people. They're so ugly. I don't know. I don't even know how to say this. Who? Okay. Oh, and this girl, Shayna. How many vowels do you think you get in one name, girl? We're going to call her 80s. She's like an 80s mall rat because I swear to God, this is the last time I heard the name Shayna. Shayna Marie. Okay. And then Lala. You know, she used to be a prostitute. Do you know that? I mean, this is what I've read this on a million blind. I don't like know personally. It's not the circles I run in, but that's what I had always like heard. And you know what? Damn. Good for you, girl. All the high fives. I've been fucking for free like an idiot. And who's this? Katie Maloney? These people have awful names. Kristen Duty? Is that how you say that? What am I looking at? We used to be a proper country. We used to have proper celebrities. We had Lana Turner and Clark Gable and Errol Flynn and actual proper celebrities. And now we have a Russian and we have Lyle who looks like he hisses. Did you ever see the Disney animated version of Robin Hood? Like it's super old, but it's like the fox is Robin Hood. That ushered in my sexual awakening when I was like 5. It did. I was like, huh. And I still gravitate towards men who look like that fox, that have this vulpine face. But remember Sir Hiss? It's the Lion King's like hissy, like snake. That's Tom Sandoval. Is that his name? That's who he is. That's Lyle. That's Lyle right there. So what do we got to learn here? Okay. I'm going to tell you in a minute, but I forgot to tell you this in the beginning. Guys, if you're on dating apps, you need some help. And I'm the one to help you. I am, not to brag, which I do constantly. It's literally the whole point of my career. I am the profile whisperer. I will tell you exactly what to put in a profile that psychologically taps into men's shadow selves that's going to get a guy hooked on you. I'm going to tell you how to talk to him. I'm going to tell you how to take it offline, how to act on the date, how to weed out fuckboys, and how to annex in the good guys with my new course, Happy Endings. It is a course that is texted straight to your phone. Click the link down below and use the code to save 15%. And you're going to get your first video in like, I think it's like 10 seconds or something. It's super fast. And you're going to get a video every day for 5 days. It's going to take you through the entire wealth of knowledge I have in terms of dating apps. And the good news is it works for any app you want. Like you can use this for Tinder, JDate, Hinge, Bumble, it doesn't matter. The methodology is exactly the same. So if you're looking to meet someone online, you don't know where to start, and you feel like cringy about it, don't worry. The course starts with a really good pep talk from me about why you want to be dating on apps. Because what was the old way? Going out to bars? Going out to bars like these people run? And having to look at the waitstaff? They're all hopped up on Adderall and screwing each other. You don't need that. You're not here to find that. You are here to find someone to screw for yourself. And I can help you. So go ahead and do that. Click down below. Okay. These people. Gee, Jiminy Christmas. So the big deal, the big poop is not just that like he cheated, but he cheated with Angela's friend, right? Lyle cheated with her friend. And if you have ever had a friend hook up with your boyfriend or even your ex, you know what this is like. It's almost unimaginable. It is, because it's such a double betrayal. It's such a double betrayal. Like, you expect a man to cheat. I mean, you don't, but you don't expect to get betrayed by your best friend. You just don't. You don't. I remember when my best friend, like sisters, we were like sisters, all through high school and college and into post-college life. She slept with my ex-boyfriend, like the guy I lost my virginity to. And he's ugly. Like, he's ugly and short and dumb. And they lived in Los Angeles. My point is, it wasn't like, well, we come from a town of 600 and there's just not that many people available. No, in Los Angeles, you could have fucked somebody else. You didn't have to fuck him. And it was just such a punch in the gut for me. I mean, I never got over it. I never got over it ever. And people are even like, you should forgive her. I was like, first of all, she's not sorry. And I remember having this like aha moment. And I think we were like 25 because he and I were thinking about getting back together. And he's like, I need to tell you something. I slept with her. I was like, I'm so sorry. I just hallucinated. I thought you told me you slept with my best friend. And I know that I should have cut him off the same way I cut her off. We all get that, right? But at the time, and I semi-stand by this, he was honest with me and she wasn't. And he's like, I don't know why I did it. I just wasn't in a good place. He's like, I think I missed you. And it was like the proximity to you. He's like, I know what twisted that is, right? I called her on it and she did not once say, I am so sorry. She's like, I love you. I'll always love you. That's not an I'm sorry. You know what people who are sorry say? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, I apologize. Here's why I was doing that. Nope. None of that from her. None of it. And not ever since. And she can fuck off, right? I will hate her forever. I will hate her forever. I hate him too for a lot of other reasons. But like, it was so, like I said, you expect to lose a man. You don't expect to lose your best friends. There's no manual for how to break up with a friend, right? There's plenty of directives for what to do when you break up with a guy. It's the Taylor Swift, it's the ice cream, it's the boozy brunch, it's the revenge body. There's a template, there's a road that has been walked. When it's a friend, you're supposed to go to her to deal with pain like this, but she is the pain? It's such a mind fuck. It's awful. And of course, every betrayal, we talked about this in the last video, takes us back to what? Every decision I made has been based on a reality that doesn't exist. And I'm a fool. So you lose that person and whatever it is they took from you, a job, a guy, whatever it might be. And you also lose the sense of, certainly stability and predictability and just comfort. And like, I know you and I know what you're capable of and I know where we stand and I don't have to constantly reevaluate this relationship. Well, who is she to me and where do I stand? Can you imagine being in a friendship like that? It's exhausting. Like your risk machine would run itself out, constantly evaluate. Can I trust you? Can I trust you? So you lose that. You lose all the predictability of a friendship. And you lose the sense that, I don't even know how to finish that sentence. You just lose everything. You lose everything. You lose everything. So let's talk about how to deal with betrayal. Well, like I said, I will hate my ex-best friend forever. And people are like, you should let go of that anger. I'm like, I have I have plenty of bandwidth to hold on to the anger. Thank you. I have the time. I have the energy. I'm okay. I'll drink an extra coffee. This is my hate coffee. I'm fueled up and ready to hate people forever. See, that wasn't that hard. I don't understand the concept of forgiveness. We've discussed this before. Because everyone says the same thing. They're like, no, it doesn't mean what they did is okay. It means you're no longer putting energy towards it. Okay. But that doesn't seem like forgiveness. Like forgiveness to me is an outward thing. It's something that goes towards that person. Like if somebody said to me, Shallon, I forgive you for doing this. I'd be like, really? Okay. I would interpret that as they're okay. It's okay what I did. And if they were like, no, that's not what it means. I'd be like, what? Then what does it mean? And So I guess if you want to say I forgive someone, it's a very inward thing. It's like the inward closure. Like I am no longer thinking about this person, whether and how that translates to real life behavior. I'm not following them. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking about them. I'm cutting off our mutual friends, whatever it is. But I think it has to have a behavioral component. Otherwise, it's like, I forgive you. I don't get it. And frankly, I don't want to get it. People who make enemies of me, they've done it on purpose. I'm pretty warlike, but I give people I love a decent amount of chances. I do. People I love. People I don't love, you can fuck off and die. People who are in my inner circle, I give people, they're having a bad day. They're not in a good place. You sleep with my boyfriend? You mess with my money or my business? Ooh. You insult my mom? No. And listen, we are all entitled to our own boundaries. My boundary is not the same as yours. The fence line around my property isn't the same as yours. So you have the right to decide what your boundaries are. And maybe for you, someone being like, your mom is such a crazy bitch, you'd be like, yeah, I know. Someone says that to me, that'll be the last thing they say for 6 weeks because I'm going to break their jaw. So I hope those words tasted good coming out of your mouth. Nothing else is going in. I don't take kindly to that. And that's my right. That's my right. I believe whatever our boundaries are, we are completely entitled to them, but we do need to communicate them because boundaries are completely different. This one fucking piece, I don't even know what to do. Because boundaries are different. And the thing with boundaries is like, we assume everyone has ours. Like I couldn't imagine saying something like that about my friend's mom and not getting my face kicked in. I couldn't imagine that. But for some people, that's no big deal. For some people, they're like, I don't care if you sleep with my ex. I'm over it. I'm like, oh, I'm not over the guy from middle school. So you better stay away from all of them. Like, he belongs to me. That goes on forever. I'm like Drake. Forever. But this is something we as individuals need to communicate, you know? Like, what if we just sat down, had boundary brunch? We're going to order beignets and like Benedicts and bubbles and boundaries. And we're just going to talk about our individual boundaries. Wouldn't that be kind of wild? Because again, we assume that everybody's are what ours are. And we don't want to inadvertently push someone's boundaries or betray them when we genuinely don't mean it like that because we're not even looking at something through that lens. We also have to, like, the flip side of that is compliments. And I talked about this when I've done my videos on Ozempic and losing weight and whatever. And I'm like, listen, I am a slut for a compliment. I take anybody. Anything you want to tell me, great. I look strong, cool. I look super thin, great. I love it all. But some people are like, no, don't tell me I look thin. I'm strong. I'm like, all right. You know, and everybody is just really different. It's like if I tell my friends, you look so thin, like I mean that coming from my place of that being a compliment to me, but for them, they're like, what? And I've had that reaction. Like, I've been working out so hard. All I look is thin. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Whereas if someone called me super strong, I'd be like, oh, like a man? I look like a man? You know? So we're all just very individual. So maybe you can do a boundary brunch, but also compliment brunch. Like you can weave it in together, right? Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about how to deal with betrayal. I think we need to define what betrayal is, okay? Because I've talked to a lot of you guys about betrayal. And again, I have a very specific definition of that. And I'm sure you do too, but they're not always the same. And I hear a lot from you guys that betrayal has been emotionally for you based on results and how you feel defined as they have changed. She's got a boyfriend now, and I just feel so betrayed. Like, oh, I guess we're not doing book club. I guess we're not doing Friday manicures or whatever because she's got a boyfriend. I just feel so betrayed and abandoned. Is that betrayal? A huge portion of people who participated in a study on betrayal categorized it as things have changed. The dynamic has changed. The season has changed. She is super focused on work. She has a baby now and she's not going out. She doesn't want to go out and drink. She's like all sober and shit. And maybe these people didn't even attach the word she has betrayed me onto that, but that is the feeling. That is the feeling. Like this is a personal affront to me. Like it was something that was done that has a direct impact on me. And I guess changing your schedule can fall into that category, but fucking my boyfriend? Insulting my mother, undermining my business, that's a little bit more pointed, right? The expected outcome of that is always going to blow back on me. Maybe that's the difference. The expected outcome of getting a boyfriend isn't, I'm going to stick it to so-and-so. It's, I'm just living my life. And that might be the fallout, but it's not, do you know what I mean? There's just like a different, it's just different. Maybe you guys can help me define this better in the comment section. I feel like my words are kind of failing me right now. I haven't had enough of my hate juice. It's iced tea. Oh, I feel so much more hateful now. Okay, ready. So we want to get some clarity on what this is. Because if it is something that has a component of like sticking it to you specifically, when my best friend slept with my ex-boyfriend, like I said, they lived in Los Angeles. Like there was no shortage of men. It was on purpose. And one of my other friends, she broke it down for me, and it really gave me a lot of clarity and honestly a lot of closure because my best friend was like the golden beauty of high school. She was unbelievable. Like, and I was like, you know, I'm a late bloomer, and I was a late bloomer, and she was not. Like tall, thin, big tits, like athletic, smart, great family, everything you could ever want to be. And that she was a peak 22, and I wasn't. I was just hitting my stride. I was living in New York, and I was popular. I was becoming kind of famous. Like, and that's when she decided to fuck my ex-boyfriend. And our mutual friend was like, she is not that golden person anymore, Shallon. Like, you see her as that still. And that was why I was so mad. I'm like, she can have any man she wants. And my friend's like, no, she can't. And her sleeping with him, it was like she was trying to get close to you, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was just super irresistible. Maybe the tequila was hitting it just right. I don't know. But interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So get some clarity. Maybe this person is just in a different season than you are. Think about somebody who lives in a different town, like your friend who lives in a different town. I live in Montana. It's, I don't know, it was like 18 degrees today and super windy. It was awful. It was awful. Well, one of my friends lives in Miami, and it was 75 today. She's in a different season. Or even in the same season, she's inhabiting it differently. It feels and looks and smells completely different to her. And what right would I have to say the way you're living that season, or that you're in a different season at all? Fuck you. This is about me. It's not about me. It's about her. Our friends having babies or going off to grad school or getting sober or whatever. The audacity for us to think that this is about us. It's not. And listen, I'm not saying this to shame you out of your feelings. Not at all. If anything, this should lessen, because it should be like, yeah, dude, this isn't about me. She's doing what she wants to do. And hasn't the crux of our friendship always been encouraging each other to be authentic and blah, blah, blah? Or hold on. Let me do a gut check right now. Has the root of our friendship actually just been enabling one another and staying maybe in a toxic, small season of drinking too much, of being single and bitching about guys? And I'm not saying that you, where you are toxic. I'm not saying that. But there's nothing more toxic than to have outgrown something and stayed there anyway. Can we agree on that? Right? It's toxic if it's the middle of summer and you're still in your parka. That's ridiculous. You're going to hurt yourself. Same, being in a bikini in the winter, same thing. Do you know what I mean? You can see the difference. You can see the difference. Not letting people grow is toxic. It's abusive. Right? And it's repellent. You're just going to push someone further away. But again, I'm not here to shame you for that. I'm here to put things into perspective, that like her living her life and her truth and changing and growing is not to stick it to you. So ask yourself, why does this feel like such a betrayal? Because you're still in this bad place and now you feel abandoned, and you felt better about this bad place when someone else was in it with you? That's very natural. I can't tell you, I was just having this conversation with one of my best friends today, like how many people in my life are threatened by me having lost weight? When are you going to go off that drug? Like you're not going to be on it forever, right? Why? Why do you care? Because you're afraid I'm going to keep getting hotter? Maybe you're concerned about my health. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe there's something else to it. You know? Maybe it's keep small, keep real small. Here's another thing that might help you. maybe their betrayal, maybe they're pulling away from you, is that they're just like not in a good place. I mean, I've spent this whole video talking like they're in a better place and they're changing and you're still stuck here. It could very well be the opposite, very well be the opposite. I've seen a lot of friends, I feel like lately, like in the last 2 years, just kind of circle the drain. And I notice this a lot. I mean, I think we've all noticed this like during COVID. I have friends who they just did not bounce back. They drank the complete Kool-Aid. They're like gigavax, like who even knows? They're still wearing masks. They're afraid to go out. And I'm like, are you okay? And the answer is no. No, they're not. And they are no longer capable of being a good friend to me. Because, I mean, part of that is like, I don't live in the same state anymore. And it's like, well, you can't visit me because you want to know if I'm vaccinated. Like, you're coming into my fucking house, excuse you. Like, you won't get on a plane. You're nervous. And it's like, I feel like this friendship is over, you know, you're not in a good place. And I have really worked hard. Little side note, and maybe you guys can understand this. It feels like the opposite end, like there's a spectrum of like the rescuer spectrum, right? And on one end, you have codependency. I'm plugging in. I got to fix this for you. I care more about your problems than you do. Rah, 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 rah. And on the other end of that, feels like betrayal. It feels like betrayal. We want to aim for the middle. I care about your problems, but they are indeed your problems. I have my own. We don't need to fix each other's. We're cheerleaders. We're not passing the ball. We're not running that play, remember? So ask yourself, like, hey, when this person's behavior feels like betrayal, is that because priorly you were very enmeshed, maybe not in a healthy way, and vice versa? Like I have had friends say, like, I've become a bad friend since I moved to Montana. And I want to say that's because I'm no longer focused on fixing your life. And I'm maybe no longer focused on even hearing these repetitive problems that you completely have the ability to change or engaging in your neuroses. I'm just in a different place. Like I left New York City to get away from that. I'm not trying to bring it with me. So I understand why people would think I'm in this betrayal end of the spectrum. Maybe I am, but I have to do what's best for me. So ask yourself again, with this person who you might feel betrayed by, is that the case? Like, are they simply living their life? Or are they like not in a good place? And the reason they're not calling you back is like, they can't, like things are not good. Things are not good. And so get a little bit of clarity is my point. That's point number one. Okay. Here's the big question. Do you talk it out with this person? That's tricky. I mean, it's very contingent on the situation and on your relationship and how much you want to keep this person around. People do make mistakes. They make mistakes. And they're not very self-aware about what drove those mistakes. Like my best friend, she had zero self-awareness about why she needed to fuck my disgusting ex-boyfriend. Zero. Didn't seem to want any clarity on that. And has never come back to me after the fact and be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, this is what was going on with me at the time. Nope. And like I said, when I called her out on this and it was obvious that there was no apology and there was no self-awareness, I was done. I was completely done. Had she been like, I need to explain what's going on with me and why this actually wasn't about you or why it was. And then maybe we could have worked through it because that's what he did. He explained it and I didn't like it, but I thought, okay, like I could maybe be empathetic about this and understand that this wasn't done to hurt me or whatever. But she didn't do that. And so to me, dead to me. There is nothing left there for me whatsoever. Nothing. And I feel completely fine with that. And I remember my mom, I'm sorry I keep referencing this, but it's like, my mom was like, I think you need to just like let it go. I was like, Mama, I have let it go. Like, I don't wish her harm, but I don't wish her well. It's Lauren Conrad. I want to forgive you and I want to forget you. I just want you out of my life. You know, you're dead to me. And I don't have wishes and hopes and dreams for the dead. They're dead. I grieve the dead. I mourn the dead. I think back and I wish things were different. I wish something had gone different. But I'm not like, gee, what should I do with the dead next week? I hope the dead is doing well. Like they're a non-factor in terms of my forward energy. Does that make sense? So I think if you're going to confront this person, I think that you absolutely should. I think you absolutely should because you deserve to make them suffer. You thought I was going to say get answers. I also, yeah, but like you should also make them fucking suffer. I have entered this season of calling people out on shit, especially guys, because it's like, if you're going to ghost me and hurt me and treat me badly, you're going to get an icky few texts, an icky conversation. That's the least I can do. The most I can do is, I don't know, blow your tires out or something like that. I'll think of something. But like, why should we move on unbothered? I am bothered. I cared about you and you betrayed me. I'm supposed to let that go? I'm supposed to be like, oh, I don't even care. I don't want to look bothered. I'm just moving. I'm taking the high road. Oh, we talked about that, didn't we? We talked about that recently on my Instagram. Go follow Shallon XO. It's not the high road if it's a cover for cowardice. If you're being a chicken shit, it's not the high road at all. Actually, Khloe Kardashian, it's not that. But I will tell you, confronting someone doesn't do what you think it's going to. You know, like, even if you understand and even if someone's sorry, sometimes that heals it. Sometimes it doesn't, you know? So just know that going in, that like, there's no guarantee here that you might not get what you want. Even if they are saying all the right things, it doesn't put things back together. And man, isn't that the worst when it doesn't? When they have broken something irreparably. I remember that's how I felt when my ex cheated on me. I'm like, you broke this and nothing can put it back together. You can't put it back together. It's broken now. Even if you want to, even if I want to, it can never be undone. Fuck. And now I have to see this. Seeing is believing. I have to see this now. It's awful. It's just such insult to injury. I get it. Here's the next point. Look at your role in this. Now, you might say, I didn't have a role. I believe you. I believe you. I didn't have a role in my ex-best friend and my ex-boyfriend. I had no fucking part in that, right? There were no red flags. There was nothing I did to precipitate this, like nothing. I was living my life in New York City. I had no idea. And that could very well be the case. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're like, no, there were red flags and I didn't bring them up. My friend would cut me down, or she would make fun of my business, or she would undermine me, or she would flirt with my boyfriend, and I was too chicken shit to say anything. The high road. And that doesn't give her a pass to do what she did. Not at all. But I'm saying, when we're in this situation where we've just been so hurt and so shredded, getting a little bit of power back can take us a long way in terms of healing. And you might be thinking, I don't feel more powerful thinking that I contributed to this. I feel less powerful. That will pass. You will move through that emotion and into, if you're brave, if you're strong enough, a lot of people don't. They move into that victim narrative and brother, they stay there. You are more powerful than that. You're going to move through that and you're going to say, next time, when I feel these things, when something gets under my skin and I'm like, why are they wearing both matching necklaces? Why was he coming out of her room at 4 a.m. to give her water? Apparently that's what Lyle did to the Russian. And like Angela caught them. She's like, what were you doing in the Russian's room at 4 a.m.? He's like, oh, bringing her water. Because she was staying with them. And Angela was like, oh, okay. And Lyle was like, nice. Like, maybe you look back and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't pass the smell test with me. You know? Maybe there were people who seemed reluctant to bring something up. Why? I don't know. Maybe you can't take feedback very well. Someone tried to give you feedback about something minor and you blew up. You know, I really, when I was cheated on by a different ex, like that was a big takeaway for me. Like, I want to always create an environment with my friends where they feel okay telling me they hate the person I'm dating, if they do. You know, because I had one friend be like, we tried to tell you, dude, and you would not hear it. You wouldn't hear it. And I felt so ashamed of myself. And that was as bad as getting cheated on, because I'm like, everyone could see it but me. And that brings us back to this feeling of like the reality that doesn't exist, right? And it's worse when we're like, oh, no, I was padding out this environment. I was helping create this reality, this fucking metaverse of bullshit where their lies could flourish and no one was telling me because I was going to lose it and I was going to shoot the messenger. or I was just not going to believe anybody. No. So it really takes a lot of self-possession. It's a huge thing to be able to accept feedback and hear things you don't want to hear. That's a huge thing. That's a huge goal. It's our life's work. But if we can at least keep that in mind, and when we're at the brunches and be like, what do you guys think of Lyle? And they're like, do you really want to know? Be like, I honestly very much want to know. Yes. And I promise, immunity necklace. You all have an immunity necklace. You can say whatever you want. I'm not going to freak out. Okay. But you got to walk it like you talk it then. I mean, you really got to do that. Dude, you guys, actually, I need your advice on this. I have this one friend. When I think about it, I think I have a lot of friends like this. Will not take any feedback. The most defensive person right out of the gate. No. Oh no. Whoa. Like that's that like operatic freak out. I'm just like, dude, okay. And yet she's trying to like start a business and work on a relationship and like all of these things that I would maybe have some advice for. And you can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her nothing. And she gets super defensive and then she gets mean. She'll start insulting you about something else. But it like in a real passive aggressive way. One time we were at dinner and I was like trying to give her advice on a business that I actually had a lot of experience in. She just knew it all. And then I order my dinner and I get like a burger and fries. She's like, are you sure you need the fries? It's going to be like that. What do you do with people who are defensive like that? You just, that's me. I'm like, figure it out your fucking self since you're so goddamn smart. Figure it out yourself. I don't know. It's been 2 years you've been talking about this business. Nothing's happened. So it's been 2 years you've been trying to get this ex back. You don't want to hear from me, even though I literally have a course on how to get your ex back. You know it all. Tell me why it's not working, but okay. So what do you do with people like that? What do you do? I don't know how we got on that. About, betrayal. Yeah, like we want to create environments where people feel empowered to be like, I'm going to shoot you all the way straight because then maybe we can head off betrayal before it happens. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. And just understand, I guess my last point is like, fuck them. You don't have to forgive anyone. And I don't care if it's your sister, if it's a parent, if it's a boss, a coworker, a spouse. May the bridges I burn light the way. I am fine cutting people off because I would rather be at peace and empty and bored and lonely and no one's calling, but no one is also betraying me than have friends in my life who aren't. Nobody betrays me twice. I'll tell you that. No one betrays me twice. It's a one and done thing because I am fine on my own, because I have complete faith that I can go out and make new friends and find better, more stable people in my life. And also because, most especially because, I have taken the time to set my boundaries. I have taken the time to come up with areas of my life that I am more elastic in. Okay, you can do X, Y, Z. Don't you fucking dare do A, B, C. And I convey that very clearly. My exes belong to me. That goes on forever. I don't care if it's a small town. I don't care how much chemistry you have. You want to go for it. But we are not friends. We're not friends. Just give yourself grace. This is a horrible thing to deal with. It is. It's unbelievable. I don't know what Angela and Lyle are going to do. I could see her taking him back. Right? And then the Russian, and then 80s mall. Oh, didn't the 80s girl like attack the Russian? Perhaps in a mall? She like hit her or something? Yeah. Waiters, man. I'm still waiting for my side of Thousand Island. Thank you. I'm almost done with the meal, so if you could just get it like sooner rather than later. I'm still going to tip 20%, but like literally, I mean, it's one thing. Like you should have brought it when I asked for it because I ordered it when I ordered. So I guess I'll just sit here until it comes. That's all for today, Shalligators. Let me know your thoughts on this garbage fire. I feel like I know I just scratched the surface with these people, and that's where I prefer to stay. But talk it out in the comment section. If you have other dirt on these people and you care, cool. If not, join the club. I'll see you later, Shalligators. Mwah.